What's up? My name is Josh Rzepka and today is Mute Monday. If you're new around here, Mute Monday is a weekly series where I discuss and demonstrate different trumpet mutes. Now, before we get started, if you would like to take your trumpet playing and your mute game to the next level, well, I have created a free mute handbook that you can download by clicking the link below. It is filled with tips and advice, and it is designed to help players of all levels. Today, we are going to be checking out some bucket mutes. First up, we have the Humes and Berg bucket mute. Now, most of you probably have this bucket mute. It is the most common bucket mute out there. Check it out. It's got this red bottom, which everyone is familiar with, and then up on the top there are these three pieces that go over the edge of your bell to hold it in place. That's how it attaches to the trumpet. And then on the inside, see there's a piece of fabric on the top, and then behind it is got all this material, cotton or something that's stuffed behind there, which really dampens the sound and gives it that soft sound that bucket mutes are known for. Now, the two mutes that I'm holding, this one right here is from the Chicago factory, which means this was manufactured before 1948, and this one right here is from East Chicago, Indiana. Now, I'm going to demonstrate both of these for you so you can hear the difference between the vintage and the modern one. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know that I have a lot of vintage mutes, and it's great to compare the old version to the new version because some of the old versions sound a lot different than the new versions, and they are really worth seeking out. But that is not always the case. Sometimes the design does not change very much. So this is going to let you know whether you should spend that extra money and try and find the vintage model of this mute as opposed to the newer one, which you can buy from the store today. Next, we are going to check out this fantastic Soulo bucket mute. Check this out. This is a plastic mute. It's not made out of the fiber material that the Humes and Berg is made out of. And check it out, it's got these tabs on the side, just the same for putting around your bell. However, this tab right here, this is the one that goes on the bottom. And you'll see there's actually some ridges on that because this bucket mute is adjustable. There's two positions that you can play with this mute on the bell. And the inside of this mute is lined with foam. It's very nice, and it really has a terrific bucket mute sound, so I'm very happy to play this for you. One other thing that you can do, if you want, you can take a handkerchief or maybe a Crown Royal bag and you can stuff it inside of the bell, and that will give you even more dampening for this mute and a little different sound. However, for today's example, I'm just going to play it in the two positions. I will play it in the more open position and then in the more closed position. Without any further talking, here are the Humes and Berg bucket mutes and the Soulo bucket mute. Now how about all of those bucket mutes? These Humes and Berg bucket mutes. Of course, this mute is actually called the velvet tone mute. If you look closely there, it is the velvet tone mute, but everyone refers to these as bucket mutes. Now, the Humes and Berg mutes, these, they sounded different, and I've got to say, I actually have 3 of these, and I compared the third one with these 2 off camera, and I even went one step further, and I weighed all 3 of them, and they all came in at different weights. The vintage one was 117 grams, one of my other ones was 124, and this one right here is 130. And they sound a little bit different. They've got different amounts of filling on the inside. And also, the newer version that I have, check out the bottom of this here. The material that is holding all of that filler inside, well, here it's intact. On this old one, it's kind of got damaged a little bit. It's got smushed in. And I think that the biggest factor in the difference in sound between these mutes is actually how intact that piece of fabric on the top is, because that is the first point of contact for the sound waves. That's what the sound waves are bouncing off of. And I think that is actually what is making the biggest difference between these Humes and Berg bucket mutes, because as far as I can tell, the construction of these otherwise is identical. They have not changed their design since the 1940s in their original factory. These pieces on the top that attach to your bell are equally as difficult to get over the edge of your bell on the old model versus the new model. I will say, if you have this mute, you know how difficult it can be to get this over your bell. And you'll see on this one right here, the metal is actually raw on this one. The original version I have still has this material over the metal, and it's like a tape of some sort, and that is to protect your trumpet bell from getting scratched. And it falls off over time if you use it a lot, and these get damaged very easily on the inside if you use it a lot. So just a couple things to keep in mind with this particular mute. It is one of the most popular ones out there. However, this is a tricky one if you have a quick mute change for the bucket mute. There are some other ones out there that I'll be sharing in future videos that they go on and off the bell very quickly and very easily, and you don't run that risk of scratching up the edge of your bell either, because you're not trying to squeeze these parts around the bead of your bell. Which brings me to this fantastic Soulo bucket mute. This mute right here, these pieces, the way that this goes over your bell, the way that these are adjusted is, in my opinion, far superior to that Humes and Berg, because these have got a lot more give to them. They're a lot easier to move over, and also the material here is a lot softer, so you're not going to be damaging or scratching up the edge of your bell. Also, the way that this is designed to function, the 2 pieces on the top here, they rest over the edge of your bell, and then this bottom piece attaches. Check it out. You take your bell, you take these 2 top pieces, you put it over the edge, and then the bottom of it attaches just like that. And then you can see it's adjustable, so these are the 2 ways that it can be adjusted, like this and like this. Very easy, very nice to adjust, and it's not going to scratch the edge of your bell. So that I really, really like about this particular mute. And it's got a great response and a nice sound, so another great mute from Soulo. I think one of the reasons that this particular mute is so popular is because of the ease in which you can put it on and take it off your bell, and because of the fact that it is adjustable. That is such a great option to be able to have. So I hope you enjoyed hearing and learning about these bucket mutes. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking that like button below and sharing this video with your friends. It really makes a very big difference. Coming up next week, I have got something very special, so stay tuned for that. And the week after, I had some requests for practice mutes, so I'm going to be playing and sharing a whole bunch of different practice mutes so you can hear and see some of the different mutes that are out there in a broad selection. I've got some metal ones, I've got some plastic ones, I've got a wooden one, so you're going to want to tune in for that. All right, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.